And I think it's very important for everybody to be engaged because that everybody's on the same page.
It's about, who's willing to change gears at the right time.
Go out, go have fun, and just take it to them.
For Wheeling University Athletics, I'm Zach Ziegler. It's time for another edition of the Shane Brown Show. Currently joined by Wheeling University head wrestling coach Shane Brown. And Shane, guys, coming off a nice performance at the MEC Championships, 5th overall. You have 2 finalists on the day. Talk about the whole event and what you saw.
Yeah, our guys went out. They wrestled well. Had some tough matchups at certain points in the tournament. We wrestled well. It wasn't the team finish we necessarily wanted. We've had a lot of injuries this year. Dealing with that, putting new guys into the lineup. Overall, I mean, we're growing. We're doing better. We had 2 finalists. It was our first finalist in program history, which is fantastic. And I think that the guys, they had some good matches. We went ahead and took on some really good talent.
And since then, you've had about a week to recover. Some injuries kind of forced you guys into that recovery week. What have you guys been working on over the week to kind of get ready for this regional run?
Yeah, I mean, we're just, getting back to the basics, getting back to, conditioning, things like that, standard drilling. Taking the time to where, like I said, we've had a lot of injuries. I'm trying to avoid that being the consistent and losing more guys. So, trying to just make sure that they're healthy, not overwork them, try to focus on the postseason and what little things we need to work on.
And looking at your 2 finalists, we'll start with Jackson Bircher. Becomes the first ever Wheeling wrestler to advance to a finals match in his freshman season. How big was that for Jackson to get to that big stage right off the bat?
It's fantastic. Jackson has definitely been one that has, bought into the program. He's a great kid, works hard. He does a lot of things right, and to see him succeed has been fantastic. It's awesome. Like I say, he's a great kid. So for me as a coach, it's awesome seeing a kid like that hit the finals as a freshman.
And right after, you had Gavin Harper in the 285-pound weight class, finished 3rd last year, gets to that finals match this year. What did he do to kind of grow himself and get better for that finals match?
Yeah, he's made a lot of adjustments. I think that Gavin is still nitpicking a couple things with himself where, to get him to that point where he is consistently beating these top-ranked guys. His finals match, the kid was really good. And before that, we wrestled kids that we've known for a good long time. He went out and wrestled the way he wrestles. So to see him, get the points, do what he does, get the techs, get the pins, kind of continue that success has been fantastic. And now with him, it's basically just get him in the fine-tooth comb of things and going over the nitpicky stuff. So that way when we get to, where it really matters, we can win those matches.
Currently joined by Wheeling University head wrestling coach Shane Brown. And Shane, this week you get ready for your first quad meet of the year at Salem. Talk about a quad and kind of how that works as opposed to the tries that we've seen earlier in the year.
Yeah, it's just an additional match. They'll put 2 mats out. We'll rotate and take on each team. We've seen Seton Hill. With like I said before, we've had moving pieces, guys injured, this, that, and the other. They're a good team. They've got a lot of really good wrestlers. That's going to be very hard. I know that other programs are kind of in the same boat we are, though. So I'm not entirely sure on how we saw Salem at MEC as well, and they did fantastic. Another growing program. They've got some good wrestlers. Emory and Henry, they're a good program. Obviously, we don't see them too often, so interested to see how that plays out.
And as you said, you've seen 2 of these 3 teams before. How does having seen some of these wrestlers before kind of help your guys as they move through the year?
Yeah, it helps them. It helps them get accustomed to how certain guys wrestle and things like that. I feel like when you wrestle certain opponents multiple times, you start to get familiar, and the matches tend to get closer, just because you know what each other's going to do. But with this being the case, I think that it's good criteria for us for regionals and everything like that. So if we did miss some of them, I think that these matchups will be perfect in helping us with seeding criteria. So I think it'll be good.
And finally, as you start this regional run, how does the mindset kind of change? Conference championships behind you, now you're looking ahead to regionals. How does that mindset kind of change, if at all?
Yeah, like I said before in multiple of these interviews, I want my guys to go out, wrestle, and have fun. I feel like with that kind of mindset and growing, it makes my guys adapt to the fact that that's just what they're going to do. And it's not so much thinking about, okay, I've got a really tough opponent now, what changes? And I'm hoping that it comes down to nothing. Nothing changes. We go out, we wrestle our match. And, with everything that we've done, I think that we're doing the right things. I think that our guys are doing, the proper things to be ready for these matches. And I think that it'll go in our favor.
Thanks, Shane. Good luck this weekend. Can't wait to see you out there.
Thank you.
For Wheeling University Athletics, I'm Zach Ziegler.
And I think it's very important for everybody to be engaged because that everybody's on the same page.
It's about, who's willing to change gears at the right time.
Go out, go have fun, and just take it to them.